So Rochdale 13 with Alan Kilshaw ahead of Saturday's game with Toulouse in France. First off, I just want to touch on last week's defeat against Batley. In your post-match, you was rather animated, and it was visible that you were disappointed with some of the officiating and the scoreline on that day. Do you stand by those comments, and is it deja vu for you?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I've watched it back. There's probably more things that I picked up from the review that were harsh on my players and you know, the team. We're over it now. We move on. We're pretty much used to it, which is the disappointing thing, that we're just accepting it now, that it keeps happening. You know, we've got a couple of players today that's been to the, you know, obviously disciplinary reviewed the game. You know, no further action for a player that's been sent off. And these things really count. You know, it was at this stage earlier on in the year when with Swinton and Batley, where players have been sin-binned, and you know, the communication we had back was that was wrong, and we get beat by 1 and 2 points. And you know, at the time, you can say this could cause, you know, problems in the future, and you know, we finished 9th by 1 point. You know, if we'd won those 2 games, which I'm sure we would have done, we'd have finished 8th. We'd have 4 games at home. We wouldn't be travelling to France this weekend. So when people say, you know, things even out over the season, I'm yet to see that. You know, and it's just the accountability that's disappointing. What is the accountability for you know the officials at the minute? You know, I understand they got a tough job to do, and I understand that the pool of officials isn't, you know, as high as they want it to be. We can sympathise with that, but when, you know, the inconsistencies from week to week, and also from play to play and ruck to ruck, it is so evident. You know, it's hard not to get frustrated after a game. You know, we used to say Batley wouldn't have won that game, but let's have it fair, and let's if we lose a game and we cop it because it's 13 on 13, or if our players sin-bin for whatever reason, which proved to be right, then, you know, we'll cop it. We have done all year, but it was very disappointing on the day. Disappointing from the players as well, and obviously our supporters. But like I say, we're over it now. We've got to move on, and we're getting prepared for a big game on Saturday night in Toulouse, as you said.
From the outside looking in, a scoreline like that, it looked like a bit of a blowout, but do you feel like it was due to the amount of defending that you had to do in that second period? Yeah,
look, I showed a set to the lads the other night where we got done with a try and we had 10 men, and they couldn't have done any more. They scrambled for 5 plays, and Batley was shifting the ball. You know, I thought we did really well. I thought we defended well with 10 men, with 11, with 12, you know, when we got those bodies back on the field. Yeah, they scored a couple later on, scored on the hooter. It's a pretty close game. You know, one stage, and to score with 10 men on the field as well is the proof that, you know, there's a lot of spirit in our team, and I saw a lot of good signs on the day from our blokes, and moving forward we show that spirit. I'm pretty sure we'll be comfortable with our performances, and we'll stay in this competition.
And you mentioned that you're off to France this weekend due to finishing 9th, and it's a bit of a strange one. You've got to kick off at a later time on the Saturday evening, and there's a bit of trouble with the transfers, and you've got to come half team coming home in one airport, half team coming home in another airport. Is that disruption for you, or are you not really bothering with that?
Look, it's not ideal. It's not ideal for a part-time team, but those are the cards we've been dealt, and we need to make sure we put that to the back of our minds. We've got 80 minutes in front of us. There's 2 valuable points there, and that's our focus. All the other stuff we'll manage, logistics. Whether we like it or not, we're going, aren't we? And we have to cop it, you know. So we'll go. We've got a good group here. You know, we'll be focused on the task in hand. We've made our feelings clear about all the other matters, and you know, it's something that needs to be looked at for part-time teams travelling, especially when, you know, Toronto will be in the competition next year as well. I'm pretty much sure, and you know, potentially maybe Catalan. So there needs to be, you know, something looked at in that sense, but there's no point in us moaning about it here. We've got 80 minutes in front of us. It's a place that we've got fond memories of, and we'll go there, you know, in good shape. We'll take 17 blokes there that are going to go and hopefully do a job for us.
And it's been well documented that you've picked up some injuries in the last couple of weeks, and you're looking at the bare bones by the looks of it. Are there any updates on those lads who you are out?
Oh, look, Foz will have a late fitness test, so will Miles. Palfrey's an outside chance. We've got Lee Mitchell and Lewis Hatton back in this week, so where we had tough decisions last week, we left some blokes out. That's compensated for a couple of injuries we picked up. Jono, obviously Joe can't travel because of visa issues again. With getting the fixture so late, we couldn't apply for that visa for him, so it's another sickener for us. But otherwise, Rob's not far off. Oldham game, and those injuries that I mentioned, if those blokes don't get through the fitness test this week with the bank holiday game, with the long turnaround, I'm pretty certain that they'll be fit for and in contention for the Oldham game. Potentially Ben Moores will cop a ban from Sunday, so he won't be for that. So we're not in bad shape, mate. I know we've got a few out this week, but I feel we're probably taking the strongest 17 we took out there, and that probably includes the final as well. So we're a good chance.
And you've been on the wrong end of some big scorelines against them this year. It's been tough. They've obviously top of this Championship Shield as it stands. For you, you've got the underdog tag again, but are you just looking to go over there and put in a solid 80 minutes performance and see where it goes?
Yeah, look, there's no pressure on us, no pressure at all. They've massively underachieved. It shows how good Halifax and Featherstone to make that 4. Start of the year, there's 2 different objectives between the 2 promoted teams. We went up as champions, but we didn't have the budget to lose. Had not a full-time team. We've got a lot of quality players in the ranks. They should have made the top 4. And they'll be gutted they didn't. They've really underachieved in that sense. Whereas, like I say, we had different objectives, and hopefully we'll achieve our objectives. They've not achieved theirs. Even if they do win this shield. So, looking at from that sense, they'll have they'll be a little bit peeved, and they'll probably have some frustrations there. I think they've not played at home yet since they've not made the 4. So, I'm sure their supporters will get behind them. But it's always a difficult game there for different reasons. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. Underdog tags. We're just thinking about the 2 points. The 2 points are really valuable at this stage of the year, and if we could go and nick a win there, it would be a massive achievement for us this season. With the contrasting budgets and squads. But we'll just look at the 80 minutes first and hopefully put in a performance. And if we can get the win on top of that, then it's going to be really pleasing.